We are introduced to Fumiya Tomozaki. He does not really like his life, and everything is boring to him. He thinks that he is a bottom tier character in a video game of life, and he is just about to be a forever loser. The only thing that Fumiya enjoys is playing video games. One day he logs onto the game called Attack Families. He goes up against a player called No Name. Fumiya actually defeats this player. After the match is over, player No Name wants to meet Fumiya in real life. It's revealed that No Name is actually Aoi Hinami, a student that is Tomozaki's classmate. Hinami takes Tomazaki to her house, and they get to know each other. Hinami is worried that Tomazaki is not leading a good life. She decides to help him achieve a better life, and using rules from a video game, she tries to get him to self-improve. The first mission that Hinami gives Tomazaki is to try and take care of his appearance. Tomazaki gets a new mission where he has to talk with 3 girls he has never met before while wearing a mask. Yuki Izuma is the first girl he talks to. Tomazaki then talks to Fuka Kikuchi, and then finally with Minami Nanami. Tomazaki manages to get through these awkward conversations, but his friends Shuji and Hanabi notice that. They start to make fun of Tomazaki, but Hinami then starts to tease them. After class, Tomazaki admits that Shuji is angry at him because he defeated him in a game. The following day, Hinami tells Tomazaki to improve his posture and have more conversations with girls. Hinami is proud of Tomazaki for improving so fast. The next mission for Tomazaki is to go on a date with Hinami. They meet up, and Hinami takes Tomazaki to a shop so that he can pick out some new clothes. Tomazaki is pretty awkward the entire time, but he still tries his best. They run into Fuka, who is a waitress in the mall. They all spend some time together. The next week in school, Hinami tells Tomazaki that he needs to talk more with Izumi and go on a date with a new girl. Tomazaki tries but fails to pass this new mission. During the week, Fuka comes to talk with him and gives him her book so that he can read it. Hinami thinks that Tomazaki should date Fuka. Izumi takes Tomazaki to her house and they play Attack Families. After that, Hinami gives movie tickets to Tomazaki and tells him to ask Fuka on a date. Tomazaki is too nervous to ask out Fuka. Tomazaki gets involved in the group gaming session of Attack Families, but Tomazaki and Nakamura have intense duels in the game, but Tomazaki wins every time. After the game session is over, Tomazaki asks Hinami if she wants to go to the movies with him. Hinami accepts his invitation. Nakamura is having his birthday soon. Tomazaki goes shopping for a present with Izumi. Hinami also joins their shopping trip. Tomazaki is still anxious in groups, and Hinami gives him a mission to talk more and give ideas. Later in the day, Tomazaki gets a new haircut. Izumi buys a present for Nakamura. Tomazaki also buys a present from the electronics store. The friends all get some pizza and then later go home. Hinami and Tomazaki talk the following day, and she is not happy with him being so quiet and not showing his personality during the mall trip. Hinami tries to get elected to the student council. She wants Tomazaki to become the campaign manager for Mimimi. Tomazaki tries to explain why it would be perfect for a job. He thinks of Hinami as the strongest video game boss, and he has to defeat her. Tomazaki also takes Mimimi to a volleyball club game, and there they have fun. Mimimi reveals that she wants to defeat Hinami in the student council election. Tomazaki wants Tama to help him with the campaign. Tomazaki decides to install air conditioners in every classroom to win over the votes. He and Mimimi also work on her speech. Tomazaki and Hinami talk about the election. He admits that this is the same as a video game challenge. Hinami reveals during her speech that she wants to install air conditioners in every classroom. This surprises Tomazaki and Mimimi. Tomazaki and Mimimi now have to improvise her speech. Hinami actually wins the entire election. Even so, Mimimi is grateful for Tomazaki and his help. Hinami is very happy that Tomazaki actually tried to be involved. Tomazaki finally finds his courage and asks Fuka to see a movie. Mimimi remembers her time in middle school and how Hinami has always been her rival. In the present, Mimimi starts to work really hard, and she becomes distant to everyone. Tomazaki is worried about her, but Mimimi explains that she must try harder, and he, being a gamer, should understand her. Mimimi skips her track practice, and Tomazaki is now concerned for her. Tomazaki goes to talk with Mimimi, and she reveals why she wants to be better than Hinami. Later, Mimimi admits that she has quit the club because of her relationship with Hinami. Tama and Tomazaki decide to help her with her emotions. Mimimi then buys all of them, even Hinami, matching gifts. Summer break finally starts, and Tomazaki meets up once more with Hinami at the mall. Tomazaki does not care about his appearance, which makes Hinami angry at him. She gives him a mission to go on a date with Fuka. Tomazaki now has to practice dating with Hinami so that he is ready for the real thing. They buy him some new clothes so that he looks much better. The girls all come to Tomazaki's house to plan their summer trip. Mizusawa explains to Tomazaki how to use hair products. Tomazaki asks Fuka on a date where they will watch the fireworks show. Tomazaki then prepares for their upcoming trip and he is a bit nervous. Hinami, Tomazaki and their friends all go on a special trip. Hinami tells Tomazaki that he must talk with Nakamura at least 3 times. She tells him to be more friendly with Mizusawa. The friends all set up a camp and start to enjoy themselves. Tomazaki tries to spend some time with the guys and starts his first mission. They later join the girls and play a game called Tycoon. Tomazaki manages to complete his task and he does well in communication. Hinami and Tomazaki are paired up during a late night game. Hinami starts to tease him and Tomazaki tries to flirt with her. This leads to a bit of a romantic and awkward moment. During the night, Hinami and Tomazaki meet up to talk about his progress. He explains that he managed to fulfill all his tasks and socialise much better than before. Mizusawa later confesses his love for Hinami. Now things are awkward between Mizusawa and Tomazaki. The trip finally ends and everyone returns home. The summer festival starts soon after and Tomazaki goes on his date with Fuka. While they're on their date, Tomazaki cannot tell Fuka that he truly likes her. Hinami and Tomazaki meet up to talk about the date. He explains that he failed his tasks as he could not confess to Fuka because it's not his real feelings. Hinami gets really angry at Tomazaki and even calls him a loser for not knowing what he wants in life. Tomazaki is really sad after his argument with Hinami. Her criticism was very harsh, so Tomazaki gets depressed. He starts to act like he did before. He goes back to being antisocial and just gaming. His sister notices that he is not doing very well. Tomazaki has been getting many text messages, but he has ignored all of them. His sister tries to motivate him so that he answers the message and returns back to his friends. Fuka actually sent him a message about their future date, but Tomazaki ignored it. Tomazaki finally accepts to go on a new date with Fuka. Like last time, he does not confess his feelings. He admits to Fuka that he has been learning how to improve his life. Fuka is proud of him for trying to get better. After some time, Tomazaki talks with Hinami and tells her to meet him in the game. They meet using their player tags. He tells Hinami that a person must find their own way in life, and he rejects cynicism. He also tells her that she could learn some things from him. Hinami accepts to continue teaching Tomazaki and spending time with him. She then gives Tomazaki his new mission. He must get a part-time job. Soon, Tomazaki manages to do this, and he starts to work at a karaoke bar with Mizusawa.